Reiki Healing Hope community. I am so excited that you've come to share your healing practice with us today. If you're new to the channel, remember to like, comment, and subscribe and answer all your comments. I get so excited to see what you all have going on. I only ask that you post things only for our highest vibrational good so that we may maintain this community as a safe place for us all to come to. So today we're going to do a chakra alignment energy balancing. So I have quite a few tools out today. So if you're new to the community, we always start off our practice with a prayer. It is not a religious prayer, just a prayer to connect us down in our individual healing journey, as well as to connect us to community. So, do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay. May I take your hands? Okay. Dear Mother and Father God, all for our highest good, please connect us to the Ascended Masters, the Reiki Masters, Master Jesus, Master Buddha, Master Katumi, the Archangels, the Spirit Guides, Spirit Animals, and all of our lineage, so that we may be able to move forward in our purpose and on our path with the greatest confidence no matter what happens, and that we may stand rooted in who we are, that we attract the correct people, situations, and circumstances to move forward and be able to look at anything in our horizon with a grounded and clear view. And I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Okay. So let's go ahead and just clear ourselves out. I'm going to do some Reiki symbols as well as I'm clearing you out. And I always actually like to start with the third eye, and that's just my personal preference because it's very visual for you, so you can definitely see this. Okay. And I'm going to go down, jump down to the root. Now what you should be is with your palms facing up, a gesture of receiving. If you can't do that, I'm at the navel now. If you can't do that, you can just open up your chest, a gesture of opening up your heart to your purpose. Going now to the solar plexus, a place of confidence, to your throat, so that you may speak your truth. Back to your third eye, so you see the vision, into your crown, so that you connect to your highest purpose, that you're always able to hear what you need to hear and to understand the macro view of your life. Inhale, exhale. 2 more for me. Inhale, exhale. Final breath, inhale. Okay, good job. So as we're going through our chakra alignment today, if there's anything that comes up, I'm going to share it with the community. So if you're attracted to watching this video today, it's because there's a message here that we're all, myself included, that we're all facing in the community, and we can have an opportunity for a group healing here. So I'm going to share this wisdom. Take what you need, leave what you don't, but always know that you are the center, meaning listen to what makes sense to you the most. Listen to what's calling out to you from your energy first, because I'm a facilitator of this space, but what I'm trying to give and teach to you is autonomy, so that you don't really need to be, though I love us sharing time together, but you don't really need me to facilitate your healing experience. That's why it's super important for you to maintain your meditation practice. So let's go ahead and get started. I've listed out certain crystals, and all of these crystals are a representation of your chakras. And so when I go in and do a healing for a client, specifically distance healing, I actually like to go in, use the pendulum, and I like to see what's going on here before I actually jump into the healing. And the reason why I like to do this is just kind of gives me like a Cliff Notes version of what might be going on. Okay. Just continue to breathe here. What I'm looking for is changes in the frequency, looking at things that are like different. This is really intuitive for me. I was trained in Reiki and trained in Metatron healing and meditation, but the pendulum is something that I picked up in my own personal practice, and I've noticed that it's been very helpful for for me to understand what's going on. Okay, so what I'm getting is more of a lower chakra balance, and that probably makes sense because we definitely worked on our upper chakra yesterday. And so as we talked about being able to step forward into our path and connect to our purpose, whatever that purpose is, we need to be able to be rooted. So I gave you all a choice in a previous video of deciding, are you going to be fear-based or are you going to be faith-based? And it's up to you to decide if you're going to be fear or faith-based. But in order to be faith-based, you have to have a sense of grounding so that your fear doesn't invoke this internal chatter that you can't control. So we're going to go ahead and focus really on these lower chakras, which we have our black tourmaline and we have our opalite as a representation of a protection as well as a always rising up. So I'm going to go down and I'm just going to bring this energy down for you at your base. Okay, I'm going to move this out the way so I can really get to you. I'm going to move this down. Energy at your base, and I'm just going to place your hands in front of you. Place my hands in front of you just to get a sensation of what's going on. I'm going to take this left hand and scan up, and all you have to do is just be relaxed here. Okay. So instantly what's coming to me is trust. So that's what we're going to work on today. We're going to work on trust. And what I end up doing is working with your aura field to be more receptive as I really talk you through this facilitation as you open your heart. So trust. So working now, kind of clearing way for the roots in your body to dig down deep. And remember, your root is also that connection to your ancestors, your lineage. We have a lot going on. We have our karmic life, we have our lineage and our ancestors, as well as we have those more systemic groups that we're born into. So we have all of these things going on at the same time. So being able to clear that out and use for our greatest good, the lessons that we've learned and the insights and the healing and the wisdom, just takes a little bit of combing out through the roots. So that's really what I'm doing at this moment, just combing out through your roots. And it's just trusting the process. And I brought this up as a message before, but it's not always about feeling better. It's about sitting down and deciding what is success to you, or what do you really want in your life, creating a reasonable plan and checking in with yourself with that, because you may not feel better, but you might have to convince yourself that, like, hey, I'm actually on this path. So instead of focusing everything on how I'm feeling each moment, let me focus it on whether I'm actually on the correct path or not. The reason why I bring that up is because you can get in codependent friendships, relationships, energy around you. You can be in a self-sabotaging system just because you want to feel better in the moment. So feelings are important, but you have to be able to look outside of those feelings to be able to understand what's going on in the macro view and to know that they're temporary. I know that sometimes when we don't necessarily address our feelings and address them for what they're really trying to bring up, we're just trying to like put something over it or instantly feel better. The lesson just drags on, and then we get in this weird dynamic of feeling like, ooh, I don't want to feel bad for so long. But just know that if it's coming up, it's coming up to come out. So that's definitely important, that if you need mental health advisors, that you connect with them, or if you have a different type of support systems, or in addition to everything, I really encourage you to reach out to as many people as possible, even this community. But it's really important that you have these people to be able to anchor you down. And we do a lot of work here on being the foundation for ourselves, but it's also having the right people around you. And I'm sure there are some great people around you. Sometimes we might want to focus, I'm just clearing out here, might want to focus on people who are the loudest, and the loudest doesn't always mean the best or the easiest, but really maybe you should take some time to think about all of those people that maybe aren't that loud and they're just easy to be around: friends, family, relationships, working situations, any of the groups you're in. Really pay respect to them, and just have your sincere gratitude to them for just being easy to be around and being productive and things like that. Okay. Continue here. And I'm just getting this motion of pulling, almost as if to wipe off anything that's kind of clouding the experience. Okay. I don't know if you hear my snap, crackle, and pop. Okay. Now, I want you to see how you feel. Take 3 deep breaths here. I'm going to go ahead and give you this tourmaline. So go ahead and take your hand out. And I'm just going to place it in your hand. Okay. Hand out. Place it right there in your hand, and you have that. Now I have another stone here called the Kambaba, and this is a stone for emotional balancing. So if there's anything that comes up for you that you want to release, you don't even have to think about it. You can also bring your gravitational pull to that stone. Opalite is here just as a representation that we're moving upwards. It's not that we need to stay in the root, but it's just simply that we're reminding ourselves that we're always and constantly moving upwards, and that's the goal of what's going on here. So I'm just going to go ahead and scan you again. This time I'm going to use my hand. I'm using my right hand, my dominant hand, and the hand that pushes out force. And I'm just going to see what's going on, and I'm just feeling for any kind of sensations. Okay. I feel a warmth. Now let me actually feel you. Just relax. Okay. Okay. You're doing a fantastic job. I get this sensation of a very gentle releasing because I'm feeling that here. It's not this kind of like dump. It's just like this, slowly just letting it go. So I really want to take this moment for you to share what's going on for you. So in the theme of trust, how do you feel like you'll be able to trust yourself? And as you're telling me, I'm just going to continue to work with your aura. But how do you feel like you can be able to trust yourself? Okay. Even if you don't want to say it out loud, you can say it in your head. Okay. Okay. Couple more moments. Okay. Okay, last moment. Okay. Well, good job. Trust, what's coming up for me is that trust is something that can be very helpful if you have a community. Sometimes we want to look outside of ourselves to root us down. And if we're surrounded by awesome people, it can be a great example of how we can treat ourselves on the inside. But the issue with that, whenever we put our power outside of ourselves, is if any of that changes, it also changes how we feel about ourselves. So the challenge here and the duality here is finding a way to build a strong foundation of trust within yourself, dependent on your internal self, while also enjoying and being in those moments of community, wherever those communities are. We are not an island. We cannot do this on our own. There's people who help us in the forefront and people who help us behind the scenes. And so being able to really feel like we can trust being in those relationships, in those communities, is dependent on our relationship and our foundation with ourselves. So what we're doing here in this community is building up that foundation, that self foundation, so that when we go into these spaces with others, we can just genuinely share that. We're not looking for them to be our savior. We're not looking for them to right all our wrongs, or we got to figure it out with them. We're doing that work within ourselves. We're just simply looking to enjoy life with them. And I think that will help a bit with the trust. Now, you might intuitively be feeling some other message for yourself, and I want to encourage you to listen to it, whatever it is saying. Just listen to it, but trust yourself. And you can also just say affirmations first thing you wake up to really reprogram your brain. Whether you want to set that as your alarm, say affirmations. I trust myself. I trust myself. I trust myself. All you have to say is that. Just say it for the first minute, 3 minutes when you first wake up. I trust myself. I trust myself. I trust myself. I trust myself. And allow that to be the space where you live. And I think that you'll slowly just work on yourself. Now, none of us is going to be completely fixed overnight. It's going to take an entire lifetime, as well as we're learning new lessons and we're coming into new insight and we're raising our vibrations. So be patient with yourself and understand it is the journey that is the most important part, and you getting comfortable with the journey, as opposed to feeling very unconscious about the journey and kind of feeling like you're at the will of whatever's happening. Be more deliberative in how you approach life and be receptive to it. And I think that is our very root chakra healing today. So I'm going to go ahead and close this up. You did a fantastic job. You always do a great job. So let me go ahead and clear this up. And I'm going to just say a little prayer. I'm going to say a little prayer for each one of your chakras. Thank you, God, for giving us a lineage, an ancestor, a karmic destiny, so that we may move forward in our journey to raise our higher vibration, to embody unconditional love and forgiveness. Please allow us to trust in ourselves, to be forgiving of ourselves, and to attract the right people around us. Allow us to root down in who we are as the foundation for our self-worth, our trust, and self-esteem, as well as to enjoy life with those people around us. Let us, God, give a special gratitude to the people around us who are there, and just make it easy to love them, easy to work with them, easy to be with them, and help us move our purpose forward. So sending that love and reflection out to them. Moving up now to the navel. God, as a place of our creativity, both in physical life and projects and business, please allow this place to flourish. If any damage has been done, please allow this to be healed. Allow our healing journey to continue to move forward, raising our vibrations here and letting go of anything taking up space. Let us be connected to the right people, situations, and circumstances to move forward these physical babies or these mental babies forward. Please let us root down in an actual community as well as a legacy that we can continue to put forward in our life. And I say this in all the name I am. Moving forward to our solar plexus. God, as the place of our confidence, please allow our heart to be open as well as our confidence to be there, and for us to trust in ourselves. Know that we are rooted and grounded down in a great wisdom and a great ancestors and a great lineage, and that we are there and that we can use that at any time. We are never alone, even when we feel alone. That we are connected to the highest and the greatest good of our spirit animals, spirit guides, ancestors, archangels, the ascended masters, the Reiki masters, all of this energy for our highest vibrational good. All we have to do is choose to be receptive to it, and we choose each and every day to be receptive to it as we navigate through life. Ashe. Going now to our heart. God, allow us to connect to our purpose so that we may bring into life these gifts that we are here to be of service of, and to root down in strong boundaries and foundations so that we may live our highest good. Connect us to our path. Allow us to go forward and be able to navigate anything that comes in our way, to be able to see that macro view of what's going on, as well as to root down in the community so that we know that we have backing behind us. Now to our throat. God, please allow us to speak our truth. Allow us to not hide what we need to say, as well as to connect us to the right people who will also share in that vision and that gift, so that we may bring a higher vibration and a higher light onto the earth. Okay, now to the third eye. God, please allow us to be able to see the path, especially if the path has not been clear for us previously. Allow us to see that road that we are going to travel down, and allow us to have that confidence and the courage to travel down it. Okay. And finally, up to our crown, I'm going to put my hand on your face. Go ahead and raise your head up. Just tilt your head up a little bit. Okay. God, please connect us to the crown of our head, and aligning all of our chakras, rooting us all the way down to the root. And know that we have your unconditional love, connection, forgiveness, all of these things. Allow us to embody these things, unconditional love and forgiveness, first for ourselves and ultimately for others. Please continue to push us forward in our path. Allow us to see the obstacles as opportunities rather than challenges. Please allow us to know our self-worth so that we do not indulge and engage in self-sabotaging behavior, as well as to make sure that we have the right community around us to celebrate us, and as we celebrate them. I say all of this in the name of I am Ashe. Okay, 3 deep breaths for me. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Final breath. Inhale. Exhale. Fantastic. You did a great job. I'm going to go ahead and clear you out. Clear me out. Okay. Thank you, God. 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 Clear myself out. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Okay. And so it will be. You did a fantastic job today. I'm so proud of you. And if no one has said it to you today, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I love you. I'm so proud of you, and I can't wait to see what's going on. And go ahead and put it in the comment section if you have some really beautiful things going on. So until next time.